Look at you over there, welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. I'm going to start with the total crypto market cap. Remember, Bitcoin is around $63,000, friends, but the total crypto market cap shows you the valuation of the entire industry, including basically stable coins. You just have a look at it. Now, what I noticed, friends, you see this pattern here, this pattern right here. This pattern is literally tick for tick the exact same pattern as right here. It is literally the same thing. See, it's crazy. We had this little wick fake out, and then we come back, and then we shot down into it pretty much. You see, we're doing this triangle part. So, I mean, is that going to happen again? I mean, I hope it happens again, but this is a nicer picture to show you them right now. You see that? That's where we are at the top. That's 2021, and then that comes out. That's basically the end game, friends. This is the final alt season. So that's where we are right now. It's just spooky how sometimes just these patterns of people's reactions and emotions all seem to repeat through the passage of time. Now, I'm going to quickly show you the Bitcoin triangle once again, friends. Remember, this is pretty much it. It was funny. We had bounced right back, okay? It was funny. And see, friends, this always happens. So just remember this, okay? In every single crash, there is like a complacency shock. I've seen it thousands of times. I've been a part of it. I've had leverage positions, like, oh, it's still good, it's still good. No, it's not good. You get this crackdown, and the first retrace is strong. I always wonder why. Why is that first retrace always strong? And it's because there are people who, they're late stage weak hands, and they're still participating in the old narratives. So they think these narratives are going to run forever. They think these stories are going to run forever. They're weak hands, okay? And what we're doing is we are now shifting their weak money into strong money exiting. And I know you're like, strong money exiting? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Look at it like that. It's just people exiting out. They're being drained out, and you're running out of those weak hands. You're running out of those FOMO buyers. So they can't keep it up as much, okay? Like, subscribe, BTC North, for anything in the show. So, look, when you're looking at this, the first snaps, they're always healthy. They always look like, you know what? We can make it back. And that's what I want to show you right now. Look how far we snapped down. See, friends, you can actually draw a fib. You actually draw these retraces, and look what happens, okay? It comes back down. It does 50% of the retrace. You see that? 50%. You even see this in the stock market. It does a big shock, and then that retraces 50% of the move, okay? But no one's paying attention because everyone thinks, okay, it's just going to come back. No. But what ends up happening next is you get to see the retrace here, and then you end up getting a bit more squeezy. I've seen this so many times. So this happened even in 2021, the China ban for Bitcoin. It happens just basically everywhere with these markets. The first snap, 50%, and it comes back in. So it doesn't mean these things are like super strong when they start snapping back fast, okay? Because usually what ends up happening is the market still hasn't woken up. They're still in this complacency shock. So if you notice, right, friends, all over Twitter yesterday, all right, what happened was there were people who are in meme coins on Soylana, Coinbase. They think, oh, it's my cycle. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to make $10 million. You're all going to get poor. Okay, these people, they're at the tops. Pretty much they're at the tops. They don't know they're at the tops yet. The complacency rally, so the first shock down, you know that retrace part? It's fast and it's strong every time. The weaker the coin, the stronger it is. I promise you, every single time. That strength confuses them. Okay, it confuses them, friends. And luckily for you, I can show you the Wall Street cheat sheet once again here. Look what it says in complacency for them. We just need to cool off for the next rally. You see this part, friends? This part is always really, really strong. You know, in some charts, friends, they'll break the high again. Some of them, they'll just won't do another high like that. Some of them do in the middle. Okay, you never know. These things sometimes can break the high by 2x and they do it. So complacency, it doesn't have to be a lower high, but I'm just telling you, complacency is always ferocious. I've seen it so many times. It's the trick. It's the final trick. By the way, friends, at the bottom of bear markets, okay, we had like a complacency dump. Bears were complacent at the bottom, and that was FTX. Okay, that was the FTX dump. And you actually see it. If I go and show you, I'll show you the weekly chart. Because if you go down, look at the complacency dump. Look at this. The FTX dump was so fast, ferocious, and quick, right? And then it just stopped. And then they're like, oh, sweet. We just need, basically, the bears, we just need a cool off, and then we're going to dump again and dump again. And look what ends up happening. We reverse it all the way up. Barely any bears capitulated in here. So if you invert that, that's what we're looking at right now. And look, trust me, yeah, I know many coins fans didn't participate in that, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm in the same boat as you are. We all are. And look, don't think, friends, a lot of these people are killing it, because I've spoken to them and I've kept my ears out. They think, no, they're not killing it. They think they're killing it. They've bought stuff with the core bags. Maybe they're on side at 2x or 50%, but they're so happy that finally they bought something that started moving up fast. They're finally happy. So then they've already extrapolated in their mind that they're going to make another 10x, because everybody around them has been succeeding. So they can't possibly imagine that they're at the top now. See the psychology of it? Whereas we're on the sidelines saying, you know what? No deal for me. No deal, no deal, no deal. You don't want that, man. You don't want everybody around you telling you, no, it's going to be great. And this is the narrative. And all the mainstream influencers are saying this is going to be great. That's what you don't want, friends, because that means most of the prospective buyers are already in. And friends, I know it's going to be hard, because look, I can see myself making a video in 6 or 12 months later on going, hey, remember when everyone said 100 million Coinbase customers were coming in to buy the top of your $600 million market cap meme coin trash? Where are they now? You know what I mean? I've just seen it so many times. It's just, you got the most perfect narrative, whatever. That's what I told you, friends. People who believed in this narrative, they did it 5-6 months ago. You are their exit liquidity if you're holding up on them, okay? So, look, I hope it keeps continuing, because then we can just keep buying all those other meme trash and stuff. But statistically, on the 20% Bitcoin wipeout, these things aren't so kind. If we play some nice, gentle angel music as well for Ethereum, friends. Ethereum bleeding out of the behind as well. No. Look, I had an epiphany. Not really epiphany, friends. I actually conceptualized this in 2022, okay? What I think is going to happen, okay, is ETH BTC in this bull market goes so far that it convinces everyone there's going to be a flippening. And that's going to be the top signal of this bull market. I think that's what's going to happen here. I'm just guessing, okay? Just guessing that we're going to call for a flippening, and that's going to be the end. But then what's actually going to happen is maybe if the ETH BTC does another 50% drop and it comes back in the next bear markup. Just guessing, right? Just guessing. But then it actually flips in the next cycle. They finally do sharding up here. So just to let you know, friends, right? ETH BTC is the altcoin sentiment indicator for the most part. All right. When it's peaking and it's up, most likely they're all going to call for some sort of flippening. They go, well, flippening, no more Bitcoin. You're probably thinking, oh, they'll never talk about that. Yeah, friends, when you're up here, the Bitcoin ETF has already been out for a year and a half at that point, and you don't have Bitcoin halving anytime soon. You're probably wondering, okay, why am I going to buy Bitcoin? You can't earn yield in it. All right, there's going to be, and look, a lot of people saying there's Bitcoin DeFi and all this other stuff. Yeah, but there's Ethereum DeFi. It's the same stuff. Okay, so these aren't necessarily pump stuff for the coins, but everybody will think they are. That's just something to think about. We're conceptualizing this, so we got to be ready. That's why we're always ready. If ETH BTC gets to like 0.10, that means Ethereum is 10% of Bitcoin's price. That's why I'm praying, man. I'm praying that if Bitcoin is 170K and Ethereum is like 17K. I'm hoping, man, that'll be fantastic if we get that. But we got to be prepared for everything, man. What if Bitcoin stops at like 120, comes back down, and then Ethereum shoots up and Ethereum can only hit like 8 or 9 or 10-ish? See, that's why there's all these combinations that can happen. If you're in the proper stuff, remember, friends, we're looking for just leverage altcoins. We're like, okay, if the speed goes up, hopefully this thing shoots harder. That's what you're looking for, because relying on the speeds to keep going up forever, that's not going to work out for people with like less than 200K portfolios. Okay, it works out with people with like, $1.5 million portfolios because they're happy with like a 2 or 3x, but it's not for everybody else. Now, I'm going to go back to the total crypto market cap. We are here, friends. We are here, and we have to be ready for this, right? It's possible we go up, and you see this top, friends? It's possible we go up there. Everyone thinks we're going to 10 trillion, and then we actually have to pay for our sins again. Boring, and then we can actually go up. It's very, very possible that can happen. So even though we're skeptical, we can still have a final pump which takes us higher, which you never know, man. It might incorporate everything. Maybe every altcoin starts moving. XRP and all the other stuff. If they all start moving, friends, you got to think, okay, this is what happened at the end of 2021. But okay, that means it's happening earlier now. So if that does happen, how do we ever get back in? Don't worry about that part. There will be some sort of deep blood capitulation moment at some point in the future. Okay, we're approaching the Bitcoin halving as well. 2 days, 16 hours. And remember, in the past 3 times, as soon as Bitcoin halving happens and there's that crash, we could be in that crash now, or there's further downside for Bitcoin to go, right? As soon as that happens, it's risk on for altcoins. Actual risk on. Like as in, don't ever do this, but time to take on leverage risk on after the Bitcoin halving. Every single time. 3 out of 3 times. But you have to do it straight away. And I'm not telling you to do leverage at all. Because look, even though it's stalling out here, a 20% drop, friends, Bitcoin did 20% here, 20% drop here, 20% drop here. Okay, this was 20%. So I think it's only logical. You think, okay, what would a 20% drop take us? Exactly 58,600. So you never know, it might even drop it back a bit more, 25%. So 55K, 58K. If we get that, don't be surprised. And remember, it is still possible, although I don't think so. We just shoot back up again, and then we do that 20%. So what I'm doing is just showing you different outlines, and you just got to remember, we're all still long, man. We're all still long. Even though, yes, maybe it jitters, maybe these things go down, and yet the altcoins are mega leverage on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dropping 20% now, altcoins take like a 50% crack. But that's what you're in this game for that. You're inside for what happens if Bitcoin goes up 20%. What if Bitcoin goes back up to 90K? Okay, and I know it hasn't been basically playing out how everybody wants right now, but we need more time. We're right there, though. We're so close. We're literally a Bitcoin halving. 3 out of 3 times, altcoins peaked in April of 2025 equivalent. So 12 months from now. 3 out of 3. They peaked exactly 12 months from now. In one case, you had to rotate into Bitcoin, right? Because it was 2017 and Bitcoin went up another 6x. In the other 2 cases, you had to rotate into stablecoins. What are we going to do? You can't go wrong 50-50. We will play that, when it comes. It depends on the prices we get given in 12 months, if it plays out like that. Now, friends, I'll play some nice gentle pump music for you as well, just to remind you. If there is a left translated cycle, and I'm going to show it to you again. If there is a left translated cycle, which means we have peaked in 2024, all right? If that happens, I would like you to know, a lot of people have said, what happens to altcoins? Look, it would be crazy, but also it would be predictable if, let's say we go April 2025, this is where Altseason's meant to peak. If Bitcoin drops and then does a complacency rally here, that's the complacency rally, and then it sinks and sinks and sinks and sinks and does the bottom here, and then we continue up. So this complacency rally, that's what we have to watch for. And we have to be watching the slingshot during that time. You know, my famous slingshot. So let's go back and look at it. We have to be ready for this. So remember, this is still a left translated, friends. We crack down. This is the final one. And by the way, yeah, we have to be ready for anything. It's possible Bitcoin and altcoins peak up here as well. However, I'm just going to show you that slingshot, which is the most important. And here it is right now. This is the most important thing to look at. We will know it's the end if Bitcoin is doing the lower high, but slingshot have done whoosh, like that, pretty much. You see a chart like that, then you know it's basically the end of time. So we are still moving line in line, and so there's nothing to be concerned about yet. We're still holding long. Also, if you are holding Soylana, friends, you should be looking at the SOL ETH ratio. This is it right now. So Soylana, friends, did this pop up. You had the December season. It comes back down, and then it goes for the final rocket moonshot. This was basically this is it, friends. You look at this, look at this. You have this euphoria burst. This is Soylana euphoria burst. Come back down. And then you have this complacency rally. In this complacency, you basically saw all the Coinbase and Soylana coins. You saw a lot of things. You got 600 million market cap, 500 million market cap, bang, 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 bang. All the altcoins on Soylana, they just had this final resurgence. Now, here's the thing. You're probably confused because why am I using words like final and complacency and stuff here and there? Of course, you don't know, but it's just that, like, it makes sense how it all lines up. You had a super euphoric blow for Soylana going up against Ethereum, comes back down, and then people come in, they got to rush in, they got the FOMO. How? We have to get in, we have to get in, we have to get in. Look at that. They're buying it straight through the highs. They think they're getting a good deal. They're buying SOL ETH right towards these highs here. So where is your value here? You're hoping that this thing keeps continuing up, but what is your risk? Your risk is that Bitcoin completes its minus 20% drop. It doesn't have to, but it might. And then it resets the altcoin people there, because friends, the people in these coins, they're not Soylana believers. They're schizos. They have very short-term mindsets. They're just here for meme coins. They don't believe in anything. They'll buy anything going up. Okay, what if it just moves to Coinbase? Okay, what then? Okay, it goes back to another layer 2 chain. Some billionaire out there tries to start a narrative on their own chain. Okay, these people move around, and they will move around. When there's money to be made and there's incentives out there, people will forcefully learn because they're doing whatever they can just to make a buck. And now for some boring macro. Not really boring though. Jay Powell, friends, from the US Fed says recent data shows lack of further progress on inflation. So here I am saying that the chances of a rate cut have diminished now. Remember, the rate cut, we were looking at as a potential sign of topping out in June. But now the odds of that dropped. Now it's moved back towards September, around the election. Like just one session of the US Fed before the election, maybe you get that one rate cut. Maybe. But that's quite a while from now, isn't it? Like, oh man, it's crazy. It's a moving target. It's a moving target. You don't have any formula. But apparently the deadline for the Ethereum ETF this year is August. That's what the final deadline is for maximum delays. Okay, with Roca Negra, I think. So just imagine they filed it in August and then they cut in September. That's the final 2-month spree of the year. That's possible, you know. But also, what if they just do an Ethereum ETF in the next 2 months? We don't know, okay? But you just always got to look out for this, because if you're always aware of these possible scenarios from before, once you walk into that scenario, you go, oh my gosh, the end game is starting. Because the fact that you're uttering the words end game, that's the most important part. You don't necessarily just sell straight away, but you just go, oh my gosh, the end is around here. We're going to see the crazy stuff. And as stuff keeps getting crazy, you're going to be completely aware of it. Whereas everyone else in the crowd, they're saying it's just getting started. It's not just getting started. That was basically what you've been holding for the whole time. And if we go back to the altcoin dominance chart, this is pretty much it. Okay, so US Fed cut rates. It was expected in June. Now we'll just move it to September, right? This is pretty much it. As you can see, friends, look, a lot of people, this is why fractals, they don't always work out perfectly. This was 2020, okay? From August 2019, it runs up. Then we have DeFi season up here, and then it's all over. You see that? That was exactly 12 months. Look what we've had pretty much up here. We didn't run for 12 months, friends. We ran for pretty much 9 months so far and cracked. So that now, look, it could still keep going up. It could. However, so far, you just see how uncertain it is. You don't know what comes next. So far, it's been 9 months. Remember I told you, man, look, okay, guys, Altseasons already started. I said that out here, so controversial. Altseason had already started because altcoins were all moving up. And now there's been like a smack or reset. But yes, we have to be careful with our terms now, because crypto markets evolved, where Altseason, there only used to be 10 coins in crypto. So Altseason meant every altcoin goes up. Now there's 50,000 coins, and there's each sectors, and they all take turns throughout the cycle. Not all of them take turns. Various things take turns throughout the cycle. So when we say Altseason, yeah, there's always an Altseason somewhere. However, yes, we haven't had the true everything goes up Altseason. But if you go back to 2021, if you look at the BTC ratios for Litecoin, it never even had an Altseason at all. The Litecoin, there was no Litecoin Altseason. So you can't just say, okay, I'm never getting out until every single coin has gone up heaps and heaps. You can't do that. All you have to do is hope that you're in Cycle 1 coins and Cycle 1 narratives on average. On average, friends. Remember, you got Chainlink and stuff, which are leaders of the oracles, but you're just going to be looking out for stuff out there. And when you're seeing signs of euphoria, okay, doesn't matter what your price is, you got to be like, you know what? Oh, I've got to be taking chips off the table. Just like racist coins, friends. Racist coins for Soylana. I remember people just thought, okay, don't worry, we're just going to get through this and we're going to continue up. That's complacency, man. Like, you've ran out of so many ideas. The buyers in the ecosystem have ran out of so many ideas. They've got nothing left. We've now had to throw themselves onto racist coins to give it a narrative. So what's it going to be at the very end of our cycle? I guess we'll wait and see. And don't forget to watch the rest of my other videos, friends. There's plenty of other meme coins and stuff for popping. Like DickWifButt did this nice rounded butt. This is an actual butt, friends. This is very, very nice to see the market cap on this. I wonder how high we can go here. That's the most fascinating thing. It's just got strong buys. Now, I want to let you know this, okay? You can see it from the HOA, which is the Tangang chart, which is actually right now. You see, they move. All right, this is the HOA pulse. They move, but look, they break the top by a 2x, 50%. This is a 2.4x. So as you can see, when they're breaking their tops, they're breaking them by like 50% and 2x up, because there's natural organic people and the liquidity is thick. You see? So it's gliding up over time when there's people coming in. So maybe DickWifButt has something similar to it. Maybe DickWifButt is literally here and it starts doing that. It goes up, it comes back out. So this is very different to many altcoins. What many altcoins do is they start with thin liquidity. The insiders have all the coins. They get to smack it up, so it paints a big green candle, and they try to ignite FOMO. So this is just, it's something interesting just to watch different price action. You also saw it with gophers, right? We're still holding gophers, still love gophers. It's just that the narrative has just shifted a bit away from it, but it's still there. Everything's still fine. So just showing you that when you have different liquidity metrics and stuff here and there, you can grow at different speeds. But you got to think like, what's more sustainable long term? If you're just having these hyper pump charts, everybody dumps, it creates the Burj Khalifa chart. And because you basically, what happens is you made the early people too rich too fast. And they're just like, you know what? There's no incentive for me to keep staying along. I'd rather cash out. All right. So there you go. You've learned a lot today, friends. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button. I'll catch you soon.